We live in a chaotic world. There is a lot that could be cause for concern and fear, right? I mean, just think about the latest headlines and things like terrorism around the globe. And there's a lot out there that can create and cause fear. How do we as Christian parents raise children in the context of this world not to fear, not to be fearful? A couple things that I would suggest. Number one, I think we need to do a much better job in teaching our children about God and who He is. I think that's the starting point in teaching our kids not to fear, is by teaching them about the nature of God, teaching them about His attributes, so that ultimately they come to see that God is the kind of being that can be trusted. He's the kind of being that can offer protection. He's the kind of being who has purpose and plans, and that really the only person in the universe who can be ultimately faithful and will not let you down is God. And so we need to teach them about His attributes, what He's like. And it's more than just saying God is love. We need to explain what that means and then how that relates to His action. So teaching our children from very early ages the nature of God, His attributes, that I think is a starting point for helping them not to fear, so that they can then put their trust in a being who can secure their future, their eternity, who can protect them, all of this kind of stuff. And then secondly, as parents, we are often the first pictures of God. And so it's not just this abstract concept, but God kind of gets embodied, if you will, in us. We become the first representation to young children about who God is. So not only do I want to teach them about who God is, but then I want to model for them what it looks like to be kind of a loving parent, to be that authority figure, that adult who is loving. What does that look like? I want to love my kid well, care for them, take care of them. And when I do that, that then reflects to them the nature of God and what He's like. And so teach them about God, then model the attributes of God. So that requires you and I being transformed and changed by Christ. And when you do those two things, you create a context in which much fear is pushed out and there's security in their life. And so we want to help them transfer their trust ultimately to God and find that in Christ we have nothing to fear.